Hey everybody! So I just wanted to pop in and give my 2 cents and reactions to a few things that are coming up. So the first thing I want to react to is the new Prey movie. And I saw a little quick bit of it, but I didn't want to watch too much of it. I know it looked pretty good already, but I wanted to just kind of watch it live with you so you can kind of see my initial thoughts on it. Same thing with Dark Winds. And I want to talk about Rutherford Falls, Reservation Dogs 2, and Echo. So let's get into it. Roll the intro. So the first one again is Prey. Like I said, I saw like a quick tidbit, but I wanted to kind of just stop so we can watch it together. It's only like 45 seconds long, but it's something. So let's take a look. Oh, that's right. 10 Cloverfield Lane. That was a good one. Ooh. August 5th. Hey, not too far away. Quick. Hulu original, August 5th. Great. So, a few things already that I think are interesting. I mean, I already saw that, they're looking to do like a female lead with this one, which I thought was pretty interesting. If you know anything about, the history of the Comanche, with a lot of tribes in particular, female warriors for some tribes were kind of, I don't want to say the norm, but they were they were typical to see sometimes, and other tribes not very much. With the Comanche, I'm not entirely sure. As far as I know, warrior society and Comanche culture was very much male dominated. So it's interesting to see how I think this film is going to tackle a bit of that already, just from I can tell. The actress, as far as I know, I think she is Lakota, as far as I remember. Yeah, but already it kind of looks pretty good. I will be honest, from a filmmaking standpoint, potentially this is just me being really judgy from the get-go. I'm not judging the content at all. I'm judging kind of the filmmaking aspect, but it kind of looks kind of sci-fi TV-ish, and it legitimately is a made-for-TV movie. So we'll have to see, but I'm actually pretty excited for it no matter what. I think I know I'm gonna like it. This is exactly the type of Predator movie that I personally have been looking for. I'm curious to see the wardrobe and everything, the war paint. If you're Comanche, I want to know, is it typical or not? You know what I mean? So it actually looks really good. I'm actually really excited for it. I like I said, I only watched the first 10 seconds. So seeing the ending with her, with the tomahawk and everything, I think it's really good. It's supposed to take place in the early 1700s. So by that point, a lot of tribes had some contact with the colonizers at the point, especially in the plains. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. So the next one I wanted to check out is Dark Winds. So I've been following this one for quite a while. There was a movie made with Lou Diamond Phillips back in, I think, the 80s or 70s. And that one was pretty good. The show is going to be based off of Tony Hillerman's novels, and he wrote these murder mysteries that take place on the res. And the two protagonists that we follow for the most part are Lieutenant Leaphorn, who's like a detective, and then Jim Chi. Jim Chi is he's like a cop, Navajo cop, but he's also like a medicine man, so he's very intuitive and spiritual. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Leaphorn, he's kind of an urban native, and he's very skeptical and very analytical. And it's a really cool combination to have, kind of like it was X-Files before X-Files. So the Dark Winds, I know Zan McLaren is going to play Leaphorn, which I think is fascinating because he always exudes this mystical persona already. So it's gonna be different for me to see him in this Leaphorn role. And then Kiowa Gordon's gonna play Jim Chi, and I'm already excited for that. So I purposely haven't seen the trailer up until this point. Now we're gonna see. I'm gonna watch it with you, and you can watch it with me. So let's give it a shot. He's got the hat.
2 people were murdered at the motel last night. But the scene suggests foul play.
Oh.
You got a visitor, Lieutenant.
I'm your new deputy.
You know about this?
Looks like you guys could use the help.
Nice suit.
Oh, he's wearing the CF,
look like
the
Pat
Navajo
Boone.
bun. That's interesting. George R. R. Martin, Robert Redford, yep.
What are you going to do? Search 27,000 square miles?
Hello?
Chris Iyer directing it, and that's pretty exciting.
Did you catch who did it?
Not yet.
Interesting.
Leads, no idea
Shot
who
on
would've
Navajo
done
land
such a
and in New
terrible
Mexico.
thing.
Damn.
Hear
Talk
about this armored car robbery? Eyewitnesses place that hijacked chopper headed into Navajo country.
Thought we were talking about a double homicide.
We're talking about both.
Ah. Interesting. Huh. Showing all the old cars. Rainn Wilson. Oh, wow. Wow. All right. All right. Okay, I'm hyped. So a lot of interesting things I'm seeing here. This is actually very fascinating. So Zan McLaren is Lieutenant Leaphorn. It looks like Leaphorn is the protagonist here. Because in the books, sometimes it shifts. And Leaphorn is just fascinating because Leaphorn in the books, like I said, he's the skeptic. He's the one that's a little more skeptical and analytical about things. But it's interesting is he is, the way they're portraying him, he's kind of that, he kind of gives that small town sheriff vibes. He's like wearing his jeans and you know, and he's got his hat. He's wearing his CF, which is the traditional Navajo bun. That's fascinating. And Wes Studi played him, and his portrayal, he's always in a suit and a tie, hair's cut straight and everything. And Kiowa Gordon as Jim Chi is kind of the opposite. Jim here looks a lot more clean cut. You see him in the suit when he first comes in. His uniform is pretty uniform, right? So it's interesting. That's the one thing that stuck out to me automatically. Rainn Wilson, and I think, I'm not entirely sure, just if I remember correctly, it looks like Rainn Wilson's character is based off of a shifty pastor type character in one of Tony Hillerman's books. So that he could, I think maybe that's what his character is inspired by. I've read like, I think 3 or 4 of them up to this point. But yeah, that looks really good. And they obviously are really trying to capture, they're definitely way more authentic here, I think, a little bit with, you know, the culture mixed with, I can tell that, because like if you watch the PBS document or the PBS films that Chris Iyer also directed, they seem very PBS-y, right? But this AMC portrayal seems to be a lot more grounded, a lot more raw, a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess just a little more raw. And the portrayal of the people and the culture, I can tell they've put a lot of thought into this. Now, the one thing that I can't tell is if it's taking place, if it's a period show, like Mindhunter. I can't tell if it's going to take place in the 70s and 80s or if it's taking place now, but just by looking at it, I think it takes place like in the late 70s, early 80s. So it's definitely a period show. And I'm really excited for that too. I think there's gonna be a lot of tension with jurisdiction. There usually is a lot of tension with jurisdiction that happens on Navajo or any reservation for that matter when it comes to laws and policing and stuff like that. And they're obviously gonna lean into the supposed supernaturalness. That's the one thing I like about Tony Hillerman's novels. Tony Hillerman's novels are kind of like X-Files in the sense that like there seems to be an aura of supernaturalness and folklore surrounding the murders. And you, like the characters and you are both very unclear, and it's quite ambiguous. And in the end, it kind of has a Sherlock Holmesy type of thing that this explains this explains that, right? But I don't know, maybe the show will make it more ambiguous, which makes it, for me, that's what makes X-Files interesting too, is that the ambiguity is what keeps it interesting and you keep watching. But I also saw that Robert Redford and George R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin actually became friends with Tony Hillerman when he moved to Santa Fe. And so I know that George R.R. Martin is definitely, him and Robert Redford both, I know for a fact were very invested in kind of making this a thing, making this happen. I'm really excited to see how they capture the intricacies of contemporary, specifically Navajo life and crime and culture and how they clash together. So I'm excited for it. So the other stuff I wanted to touch on and kind of blurb and rant about is Echoes. That's the first thing that's kind of caught my eye recently. So if you don't know, I talked a little bit about it in my Rez Dogs review, but so Zan McLaren and Aliqua Cox, they are both in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye, which is about Hawkeye, one of the Avengers. But she's introduced as kind of like this morally ambiguous character. And if you don't know about her character, you wouldn't know that she's Native. The show dedicated to her, I think, is going to explore that, and it's going to explore her family's connection to Kingpin. And then I saw that Charlie Cox is in the show too, so Daredevil is definitely going to be involved somehow. But Zan McLaren is returning as her father. A couple of other Native actors as well. I think, what's his face from Twilight's in it. I forgot his name already. So that's happening now. Like, I think they're filming right now. I saw on Backstage that they're looking for some light speaking roles and background actors for it, specifically Native. So it's really interesting that on Disney Plus, for like in the MCU, this is gonna be the first hint towards, you know, indigenous heroes and villains and all of that. So that seems to me really interesting, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. So if you want to be in it, you can go ahead. But yeah, I'm pretty curious to see about that, about what they do with Echo. So and the next thing that I thought was interesting that's coming out is Reservation Dogs Season 2. I mean, it was initially announced. I threw it up on my Instagram story. And if you follow my Instagram, I'm so sorry. I am more active on my stories than I am on my posts, and I need to be more active on my posts. With Reservation Dogs Season 2, we're actually getting a lot more people, and like some people that I was actually genuinely surprised about. So I follow a lot of these. I follow Sterling Harjo on Instagram and a lot of the other actors and actresses, and so we're definitely going to get Quanah Chasenhorse. She recently showed at the Met Gala, which I thought was actually really cool. So she's a model, but I think she cameos or maybe even has a full role in Rez Dogs Season 2. Jenna Schmieding again too is also going to be. We're going to see more of her because I think we only had one scene with her in the first season. And then we're going to get Dogface420 from TikTok. If you don't remember Dogface420, he's the guy that was on the skateboard and drinking I think he was drinking tea. I don't remember what he was drinking. But yeah, his TikTok just got uber famous during 2020. And he's had like sponsorship deals and all this stuff. So he's definitely, I saw that he's having an appearance in the show as well. And all the original cast from the last season is going to be there too. So I'm just super interested to see where they go with it. I thought that was pretty cool. That was the notable things about Reservation Dogs that I saw was some of these new cameos that are coming out. And so the last thing I saw that was recently announced was Rutherford Falls Season 2. And obviously they haven't done a teaser or anything about it, just a couple of promo photos. I haven't finished my Rutherford Falls review. I need to finish it for y'all because again, I want to compare and contrast that with Reservation Dogs. But it seems Jenna Schmading on her Instagram, they posted a lot about Rutherford Falls Season 2. It looks like they also might have some other native cameos from other native stars on there as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that, to see what happens with that. And that's pretty much it. They're just quick little tidbits. It's not that I want to like announce, like I want to be like a news source. I just figured, me as a native Navajo, I think it's important that sometimes we get some genuine reactions and initial thoughts. Because a lot of people always ask me, they'd always ask me, hey, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on that? And then sometimes my answers are so long, or they need to be more visual or something. So sometimes I just thought, I'll just make a video about it. But a lot of you have asked about, what I think about these things coming up. And so I just figured I'd shoot this and tell you guys just really quickly and react to it. Just so, we can have some dialogue and discuss it and stuff like that. So that's really it I have for you today. Again, my Star Wars video is coming up soon. I'm really excited about that one. I think you guys will find it very interesting. And after that, I'm gonna finally finish my Rutherford Falls review. I bet you by the time it comes out, season 2 is gonna come out. So, hey guys, but thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, typical, but it really does help. If you know any other native YouTubers, put them in the comments, share. Native YouTubers and native content creators just need to keep expanding. I've seriously been thinking about getting on TikTok, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that yet, because occasionally there are little tidbits that I want to talk about that would probably be good for a TikTok format, or maybe even YouTube Shorts. I don't know. It depends. You guys let me know in the comments if you think me doing short form content is something it would be worthwhile, especially with the content that I talk about. So, but thanks again, guys, for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one.